Welcome everybody. So I am back, and this is going to be a brand new YouTube video, and that's going to be for Mission Impossible Fallout. I just got back from seeing that movie, and aside from the guy that came in like right as the movie started showing, I would have had the entire theater to myself, and I was kind of bummed out that he had to come in and then sit behind me and start, munching away on popcorn loudly for like the first 15 minutes. It was super annoying. It was like, dude, if I'm turning around and looking at you, it's probably a good idea to, close your mouth or chew on your popcorn a little bit quieter, because that was freaking annoying. Like, I almost lost my shit. It's like, really, like, I was expecting to have a nice movie, have a theater to myself for once, finally, since it's rarely ever happened to me. And dude has to show up, like, right as the movie's starting and just make a whole bunch of noise. So, yeah, I almost lost my shit. Sitting in the theater and having somebody come at the last second and cause a little bit of trouble. But other than that, the movie was fine. The action sequences were great. It was pretty cool to see Tom Cruise, back at it again, doing his own stunts and everything. And I had to leave a couple times in the theater just because the movie is really long. And there's a couple moments where you can kind of like leave and go get some popcorn and stuff, because the action does die down a little bit towards the later half of the movie. So I left and I went to the bathroom and everything, got something else to drink, and came back. And when I came back, it was towards the middle half where, you figure out Ethan Hunt is being double-crossed by several of the members of the IMF. That starts the chase in Paris, where you kind of figure out that they're trying to grab the plutonium before, everything goes up in smoke and everyone pretty much dies, which is kind of like a doomsday scenario that's been played out in movies for a while. There's a lot of cliched elements in this movie, and one of them is at the end, after the helicopter sequence, which is really brilliantly shot. You see them kind of falling through the chasm and everything, and then it gets kind of stuck in between a couple rocks and stuff. And then Henry Cavill's character is like, why won't you just die? Like, that's a line that's been said throughout countless other movies for decades now. And I thought it was pretty cool how they killed off his character in the end of the movie. I won't spoil it, but this movie stars Tom Cruise as Ethan Hunt, Ving Rhames as his character from the first couple of movies, and Benji, a.k.a. Simon Pegg, returns for this movie as sort of his, intelligence guy, someone that's always got his back in terms of gear and weapons and stuff. And he's trying to get more into the IMF world of actually becoming an agent and everything, which is pretty cool because they gave Simon Pegg a little bit more stuff to do in this movie. I know he's done other action roles before with like Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and stuff like that, but this movie is fantastic. I think all the actors gave it their all and gave it their best. And there's a couple slow moments in the film, but that doesn't kind of last long like some other movies. This movie is like really well paced. If you like the other Mission Impossible movies, which the other couple movies I still think are my favorites, 1, 3, 4, and 5, but this one definitely does hold up really well in terms of the stunt sequences and some of the set pieces that they have. One of the coolest scenes is you see Henry Cavill hanging out the back of a helicopter, and he's like shooting down Tom Cruise with a giant machine gun, and it's pretty cool chase sequence. And Tom Cruise tries to at one point ram his vehicle and stuff and drop a giant sack of stuff on top of his helicopter to try and smash him to the ground, which I won't spoil what happens with that plot detail, but a lot of the stuff you've seen in the trailers, and it shouldn't surprise you that much. You see the Halo freefall jump out of the AC-130, and that's pretty sweet to see just because Tom Cruise kind of did a few takes of that. Like, I think I heard over 100 or something like that. Tom Cruise is really dedicated in terms of doing his own stunts, and I think that is a huge testament to the film. Like, it feels real. It doesn't feel like it's been CG. There's a part in the movie in the Paris chase where he gets hit by a truck, and that is in the trailer, and you see him tumble out. That part was CG. You can pretty much tell because Tom Cruise wouldn't be able to survive that and keep running. One of the coolest parts of this film is the part that you've seen in the trailers where you see Tom Cruise jumping from rooftop to rooftop, and you see that scene where he hurt his leg while he was filming this film, and then he just gets up and just keeps running. They used that shot as the final shot for that chase sequence, and you can see him kind of limping away and just keep on going because they shot that other part after he had kind of recovered from the jump and everything. And that was pretty cool that they actually used that take, because I would have just assumed that they reshot it and everything, which they probably did, considering that they didn't want to hurt Tom Cruise or anything. But, I've been a fan of the Mission Impossible series since the very beginning. I definitely at one point in time wanted to review the first movie and the subsequent movies, other than this movie. But Fallout is definitely one that you're going to want to have in your collection, in your Blu-ray collection when this comes out. And you're going to want to go see this movie at least once or maybe even twice if you feel like doing so. This movie is well worth the money. I paid for the 3D version, and some of the shots look amazing in 3D. Like when you're flying through the helicopters and stuff, and you can see the mountain sides, that looks awesome. When you're going through Paris and you're kind of zigzagging through different cars and stuff, that was awesome. Paying for 3D, like I normally don't do that for these types of movies, just because it was shot in 2D and then converted later to digital 3D. So I tend to stick to just the regular 2D, but this movie definitely earned that sort of signature of paying for the upper price tag in order to kind of go see this movie in a better quality theater experience. So overall, aside from the guy that came in, after me kind of pissing me off a little bit, this movie was a really good film, and I would give it probably an A grade. I wouldn't give it like an A plus just because there's a couple issues with the pacing and stuff and some of the cliched lines that you get within this movie, but other than that, this is a fine Mission Impossible entry, and I don't see any reason why that you shouldn't go and watch this movie in the theaters. So if you like this review, I hope you guys rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.